until I hit my last breath. Music's everlasting even if past death. Not overacting, music's never past tense. Colliding with the greats, welcome to this crash test.
All right, we're here for another episode of the BringTheBars podcast, and I'm joined by R.A.P for the second time on this podcast. How have you been?
Not too bad, buddy. How you been?
I've been pretty good, man. And well, you had your debut album drop. So how does it feel now that it's been, close to a month, I guess, since the drop? How does it feel to have that done?
Man, it's still pretty crazy. Like, I'm still kind of like in all the aftermath of everything. And I don't feel like I have really processed everything, you know? Like I've had, since I've lived here in Toronto, I haven't had much contact with most of my friends from back home. And I had two of my friends come visit me, and they bought one of my CDs, and they were bumping my CD while we were driving around Toronto, and it's pretty like surreal to hang out with buddies from like back in the day and listen to me now, you know? Like it was really weird.
Yeah, it must have been different. Did they know you were working on the album even?
No, nobody, like a lot of people from back home didn't really know I was working on the album. I told like, I know I got a lot of feedback from my little brother and stuff like that to see like what he thought. Cause like, just like me, he grew up like in the whole rap scene and stuff like that, you know? And yeah, not a lot of people like really expected anything to drop. And a lot of people that I messaged, like, they're like, "Oh, you're still doing music? Like it's serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah, this is what I want to do and stuff." I just never had the how you say, like the means or whatever to put my music out. Now I do, so now it's a different ball game, you know.
Yeah, they must have been pretty blown away by like this. Like you said, they probably didn't even know you were still writing anything.
Oh yeah, I had like a friend I haven't talked to since like high school, and he's like, "Man." He's like, I just assumed that you went down a bad path just like everybody else did that like I used to hang out with and stuff. And like, you know, I'm happy I never went down that path, and it sucks that some of my friends did, but it is what it is, and hopefully they'll come back, and that's all I could do, you know.
It's funny talking to a lot of people like through this podcast and stuff, a lot of us artists, is that we all had that crossroads, especially in like high school. Like my friends as well, quite a few of them went down a wrong path, and it seems like we took the route of music and releasing it when it could have easily went the other way.
Oh yeah, 100%. I was like, I don't know, man. Like I feel like I took the bad path for a while, but it wasn't like the worst path, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like like I don't know. Like I could have done worse things in my life, and I could have been through worse things in my life. And people go through like horrible things in their life, worse than what I've been through. But it just, like, you know, shapes the person you become in the future. You know.
Yeah, could have been better, and it could have been worse. That's my story too.
Exactly.
And going through your album, I really want to talk to you about this. Is that you have your girlfriend on the album? And she has an incredible voice. I wanted to know how that came about. Did she ask to go on the album? Did you kind of convince her to go on the album? Because I know it's the first time she really like released her voice out like that from what you were telling me.
So that was kind of cool how that happened. Like the whole collaboration situation with my album was kind of funny how it happened, because it wasn't supposed to be so many people at first. Like when I first planned it out, you know. And then I started just like reaching out to people I wanted to make music with, and they all got back to me, and everybody was down to make music, right? So if people are down to make music, I'm down to make music with them and stuff. And I know like my girlfriend and I, the way we actually met each other is at a karaoke bar. I used to go to this karaoke bar every Monday. I used to go with my friend and my roommate and stuff. And there's one night we were there, and man, I was really drunk. I don't drink that much, to be honest. And I think I was doing like the bad touch by the Bloodhound Gang or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, we ended up talking afterwards, and we're together now. We've been together for 2.5 years now, and it's been pretty dope, you know. And the only time she was able to sing before was like when we were drinking, right? Because it's that liquid courage, right?
Yeah, big time.
So I've heard her sing, and I have recordings on my phone of her singing. Like, I've heard her voice, and her voice is amazing. And like, I feel like other people need to hear her voice as well, but she's really shy, so she's not like the type of person to put herself out there. And then the first song we came out with was Spacewalk, and like my girlfriend just lends me her voice. Like I write most of the lyrics and stuff. When I have my whole writing process, I just kind of just sit here and do my thing, you know. And then later on, I just get her to listen to it and see how I wanted it to be. And she basically just uses her actual vocal like capabilities to make it sound better.
Well, she did great on it, man. She's on a couple tracks on your album. And everybody tuning in or listening on radio, the album is Deep Space, and you can find it R.A.P on pretty much all major platforms. So you guys got to check it out. But there's a couple songs she was on, and I really loved Because of You. That one was awesome. And it like fits your style and like the beat and everything. She fit so smoothly with it. And when you told me it was your girlfriend, I was like, oh shit, that must be nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was an interesting song too, because like that song there, I like writing. Like I think last time we had our interview, we were talking about my Havana song and the writing process for that one.
Yeah.
Because of You was sort of the same thing, but it wasn't like years apart. But it was like kind of like how most of my relationships like brought me to the person that I'm with today. You know what I mean? And also helped, like I said before, shape the person that I am like at this moment. So that was a really real song for me to write. It was awesome.
So like when you started writing that song, did you pretty much start it when you first met her and then continued on? Because I know in the Havana you said it was like broken into years. So has this one kind of been broken up into the 2 years you've known her? Or?
No, this is like I wrote it in a week or so, but like the concept of it just spread out through like my high school relationship. Like you know, some of the girls that I dated in between there that had like a huge mark on like my personality and who I am and stuff like that. And then towards the ending, it's more just talking about like how it's all or nothing. We're going to be together forever, or we're not going to be together at all.
Yeah. And the whole title of it, Deep Space, how did that pop in your head to title it Deep Space? And did you have other titles you were floating around and trying to decide which way to go with it?
So that's actually a hilarious story. So the guy that I got, so my album, well, sorry for the people on the radio here, but this is what it looks like. My album cover, my album back, I actually got it painted by a guy I used to work with. And he's a really good artist and stuff here in Toronto. And so, man, I started the idea for this like when I started putting out my songs weekly last year. I already had it in my head. I'm like, hey, I'm putting out an album next year. I got to figure out, like, I just got to like draw out the blueprint for it type of thing. You know what I mean? And the name that kept coming to mind was like In a Different Place or Somewhere Different or something like that. Like just a concept of me not being from here and just being from a different place, but still being able to be real on my album and relate to people, you know, in a humane way, right? So that's what the concept of it was, okay? I waited like for a few months for the artist to give me back my album, and when he gave me the paintings, I realized on the sweater of it, like of the gentleman, it says Deep Space on it, and I was like, that's not the name of the album. That's like it's supposed to be In a Different Place or something like that.
Yeah.
Like crap, man, I messed up. And I was like, you know what, that's no problem. Like I actually like Deep Space. You know what, Deep Space kind of works.
Yeah, I thought that was very creative album title for it, for sure. And
yeah, by accident.
Yeah, it's funny how some of that happens. And you were talking earlier about the features you got on it, and it was funny because when I started like a year ago when I was working on, originally it was supposed to be my Unmasked album, and then I reached out to all these guys and everybody was coming back to me with features, and that's when I decided, okay, let's turn this into global domination and just make a full feature album, because solo albums you don't really want a lot of features, but I like how you did it. You have a lot, but they're pretty much on just 3-4 tracks. Like it's not throughout the whole album. Like Sudbury Slam Sessions has what, 5 artists,
Yeah.
Melodic Murder Mystery, I think, is another 5. Like just on 2 songs alone is like 10 features.
Yeah, it's mostly just because I have 2 ciphers on my album, right? So that's where most of the features come from. And like at first I was only supposed to reach out to like a few artists to come onto my album, and like I said, I just got like a quick response from like everybody, and everybody was just on board to help me like bring my first project to life, you know. And especially with like the Sudbury Slam Sessions song, those are all like people from my hometown of Sudbury, Ontario, and these guys have been in the rap scene for a while, and like the artist Cheza and Mo on that song, those are guys I used to listen to as a teenager that now I've had the pleasure to actually be able to work with, like a kind of like a hometown hero type of thing, you know.
Yeah.
Like that turned into a whole kind of project where it was supposed to be like a couple of us just going in and like just rapping, you know, just who gives a shit, just go give her crap.
Yeah.
But it turned out more into like a slam poetry session, so that's why I changed the name into Sudbury Slam Sessions, because I'm planning to do like more of a showcase of talent, like the freshman cipher or double XL cipher and stuff like that, but for people from my hometown.
Yeah, that was a great idea. And those people on the Sudbury Slam Session, you said you listened to when you were a teenager. Did you know all these people personally from Sudbury, or some you just kind of linked up through online? Like, how did all these connections come about?
So Cheza and Mo, I knew both of them because I had done business with them in their podcast before, because I used to work like in like with dispensaries and stuff here in Toronto.
Okay.
So yeah, we had sponsored their show for a little bit. So I had gone like to a few of their concerts and stuff like that, and I've gotten to know them a little bit. And like even like Cheza's the one who made the CDs, who wrapped them up and everything for me. He's the one that did basically everything that has to do with the CD itself, like the physical copy. He's the one that got all that together for me just by himself. And even the t-shirt I'm wearing right now is from my clothing line for just this month. Little hashtag album mode as my little stuff like that. He's the one that put that together for me too. He's really like in tune with like the community of artists and stuff. So like I have another song with him called Music Equals Everything. And yeah, he just loves to put music out, and I feel like everything he puts out is like a total vibe. And then when he came out with this verse on Sudbury Slam Sessions, it was like it wasn't even a vibe anymore. It was just like, this is like raw rap, you know? Like as soon as he comes in right at the starting and punches in, I'm like, bro, like this is sick, you know? And then yeah, Mo, like I said, I knew him previously from the business between our shops and stuff.
Yeah.
Dead Boy Crypt, I didn't know him personally. I seen a couple of his shows in Sudbury, and he has like, I really like him because he's like sort of like a metal vibe sort of thing.
Yeah.
He's like so he's kind of like, I want to say he's kind of like necro because he's not, but like it's the kind of vibes I get from him. He's kind of more like a death rap kind of.
I can see that. Yeah. Yeah.
And then Mickey O'Brien, he's been like known around our community for a while because he's like because my hometown is known as a mining town. Like it's the nickel capital of almost the entire world, I believe. And essentially this guy, he's been working in the mines for a while, and he's also been doing shows like for the mines. Like this guy is known around the mining community and stuff like that. And as soon as I mentioned to Cheza that I wanted to do like a slam poetry type of cipher thing, he just basically got all these boys together, and they all said yes, and the song just came to be.
That's awesome, man. And the production on that song, the whole, like how you introduced everybody leading into their verse, that whole way that was done, man, was like, that was perfect. That's probably, I'm on Melodic Murder Mystery, so I would be biased saying that's my favorite, but this Sudbury Slam Sessions is definitely a standout for me on that whole. That was just a fun vibe, a fun track, and put together so nicely for that. And do you have any more CDs available?
Yeah, I still have tons of CDs available. The only thing is though, is that if you want them to be autographed, they won't be plastic wrapped though, because I got them all like plastic wrapped ahead of time.
Okay, well, if somebody wants a CD, where would you lead them to?
They could go onto any of my socials, contact me there, contact me through email. I guess my email would be bradtherapper@hotmail.com. Yeah, I don't remember where I put my company email. I got a bunch of papers all over the place and stuff.
No worries. Yeah, I'm happy I got mine. And you talking about the Sudbury community with hip hop. You know, I'm from North Bay myself. So what is it? An hour, not even an hour away from Sudbury. I've been to Sudbury many times. And I didn't know the hip hop scene was kind of that vast there, really, because North Bay, there really isn't any. So I couldn't do like a North Bay slam session because I would only be myself and maybe my cousin, but my cousin's not there anymore. So yeah, it wouldn't really work out too well. So it's nice that you had a community in your hometown for that one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and for Melodic Murder Mystery, I wanted to talk about this one. This is actually going to lead into a new segment of the show I started doing called The Queen's Question. And it's from my wife. She tunes into all the podcasts and everything. So I put a segment for her. She always has a question she wants to ask. And she just wanted to ask you, because she was blown away when I first showed her that track on how creative that was and everything. Like, how did that topic come in mind? Because I know when you first brought it up, you were saying it was like a cypher type song. And then you came up with the Game of Clue idea. Like, how did that pop in your head to come out with that? Because that was incredible.
Well, if I remember correctly, I do believe like I wanted to do a cipher with everybody, and I didn't really know what the plan was at first. And I know like we were trying to like brainstorm a name or something.
Mm.
And I really like names that kind of just like flow off the tongue and have like kind of like all the same letter at the starting, you know what I mean? Like
I can tell Sudbury Slam Session, Melodic Murder Mystery.
exactly, right? Because I find like it's just like it's so catchy. Like if it's something you could just tell your grandma, even though you probably don't want your grandma listening to that. Yeah, so honestly, it just all started with the name. As soon as I had like Melodic Murder Mystery and I sent it to you guys and everything, I was like, you know what? I was like, it would be really awesome if we could, between all of us, make this like a game of Clue, because like I don't think I would have had that idea if it was just like me and like two other artists or something, you know what I mean? Like I thought it was a really cool idea because of how many people we were on the track, and like the fact that we would be able to have the story go out from start to finish and still have people guessing who murdered the track, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It was, man. That was unbelievable. Like, so creative, because like when somebody reaches out to me for a feature, there's like three main things I pretty much like look at. One is, do I like the person as an artist and as a person, like that I want to work with? The beat has to come, like the beat has to hit, and like the topic, something that I never would have thought to write to before and make me jealous that I didn't come up with the idea. And that hit all three for that. And that was so fun. Shout out to everybody on that track, because how everybody did it as well. I was so interested to see how everybody was going to do it with the Game of Clue idea, and everybody went with it. And Obi-Wan saved it right at the end to come in at the last minute on that. Perfect ending to it as well.
Oh yeah, like as soon as, because we had everything mixed, and as soon as he sent me like his version mixed or whatever, and I heard his voice right at the end, I was like, bro, I was like, this song, like this is gonna hit really good with a lot of people. Like
yeah, that was so much fun to write to, for sure. Like one of my favorite features I had somebody reach out to me for, like that idea. And actually Automatic hit me up for an idea of a collaboration. And like we're both big wrestling fans, me and Automatic. So his idea was to call Punchline Mania, and it's going to be all wrestling punchlines. And I'm like, oh man, that's going to be fun to do too.
That's awesome. I seen that in the last interview. I was thinking of doing something like that like a few years ago. Because my brother and I, it was the same thing. We grew up watching wrestling and all that stuff. I can't count how many times that I was going to bed past my bedtime to watch SummerSlam or
yeah. And it was always on like a Sunday. You had school the next day, and it's there sneaking 11 o'clock at night watching My favorite was definitely Attitude Era, Stone Cold in the main event or something. But yeah,
Oh,
big
100%.
wrestling fan. That was a lot of fun. Like, great idea that he came up with. And also talking with him, you guys are working on a collaboration EP, it sounds like. So how is that coming along? How did this whole process start?
I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about it, but man, it's gonna be pretty awesome. Like, just from the few songs that we have ready already, like, I'm pretty excited to get this out there. We got some features from some BTB artists. We also got features from some artists on my label as well.
Nice.
So it's a good mixture of all of us, basically. And this basically just came like what song was it? Oh yeah, Automatic and I did Ish Talk together, and that was a really fun song to do together, and it was well received by a lot of people because they just liked like how the hook went and all this stuff in our bars and stuff, whatever. And essentially, Automatic and I just kept talking after that because I like obviously talking still with the artists afterwards because like I still talk to Scotty. Doja I don't talk to as much because yeah, he's been super busy doing a lot.
Yeah.
Like I've been seeing all the stuff he's been putting out lately too, you know. But yeah, anyway, I try to keep in touch with everybody. So I was talking to Automatic, and there was one night we were getting a little bit more personal with each other, and we were talking about like, you know, just like how we feel about like hip hop and stuff like that. And it came about that we were talking about poetry, because like I call myself Rhythm in poetry. Like I pride myself in kind of writing more like a poet and less like a hip hop artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we were having that conversation, and then he was saying basically the same thing. We were just on the same page, and he was like, you know what? He's like, I have 4 beats I want to put out. You have 4 beats you want to put out. We should just put it like an EP out together. And I'm like, sure, man. And then we just started working together, and it's just slowly coming together and stuff. We already have a name for it too. I don't know if I'm allowed to say what the name is for it.
I'll wait for you guys to talk that over to release that to everybody. But yeah, he's told me a bit about it as well. I talked to him about it on the last interview that he was on too. Yeah, I'm excited for it. It's funny, all the people in BTB now, a lot of them seem to be jumping in and doing like collaboration EPs and stuff like that. Because I know Kronos hit me up. He wants to do one with me in the near future as well. Otis and I have Faded Bars coming in 2 days, actually. And yeah, it's neat how everybody's getting together in that group. And it's a lot of fun there for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm having such a blast, and I'm learning so much from everybody at the same time.
Yeah.
And like, you could tell like I do have features like last year and stuff, but this year I was diving a lot more into features and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to learn from other artists. I'm a huge person like that deals with vibes and stuff, right? And like how you said, like if somebody approaches you for a feature, like if I'm not vibing with you, I'm not gonna make a song with you. And it's no like personal attack to you whatsoever, but it's just like if I can't vibe, I'm not gonna make music to it, you know. Like I'm not gonna go out and make some polka music because
Yeah.
I can't do that, you know. Like, but yeah, so I love everybody in the group because everybody has such good vibes, and you're just like I keep saying, you're able to learn from so much from everybody, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And everybody's just like quick turnaround rate as well with everybody. Because I know in the past, you probably had that happen before. You send out a feature to somebody, and then it's like a month goes by. You didn't hear it. Oh, I'll get to it. I'm getting to it. Then like another couple weeks go by. And then at the end, you're kind of just like, all right, well, I'm just going to scratch this feature now and finish the song myself or find somebody else. With the BTB guys, it's like they're done quicker than I am by the time I get it back. And I was like, holy shit, I haven't even written my part yet.
Yeah, honestly, like I've been trying to do the same thing myself because like obviously like I still believe in like quality in your music and stuff, but I feel like if you like ease up on the gas while you're trying to put all this music out, like it kind of ruins obviously your momentum, right? So if you try to put more music out, then you won't be at the same pace. You won't like keep pushing type thing, right? So like that's why I put so much music out. That's why I keep like somebody contacts me for a verse and I'll try to have it done in like a week or something, or like even that day, depends what I'm doing. But after my album dropped, like I got slammed with so many like projects and collaborations and like stuff that I still want to put, like I try to put 20 singles out every year, like since I started putting music out. That's like my yearly goal, 20 singles plus whatever. And at this point, I'm still trying to do my singles that I'm trying to put out, but all these people want to do collaborations and stuff. Excuse me, which I have no problem with. But the thing is also, you would know I'm Canadian, right? So I can't say no to people. So people are gonna keep asking me, "Hey, you want to do a collab?" I'm like, "Oh man, I'd love to do a collaboration with you. Let's get something started, you know." And then I find myself like halfway between like 14 songs. And I'm like, "Hey."
I hit the same problem, man. I actually had to turn down a few the last little bit. I'm like, I'm trying to do touch-ups on faded bars, and I'm working on the label. Like, I'm mixing a lot of automatic stuff. I just was like, I can't take a feature right now. I just can't do it. And then next will be global domination, so I'll be reaching to others for features. And you will be on that list. Hopefully you'll have a little bit of time to write to that, but that's still a little bit down the road for that one.
Of course. I have all these things I'm trying to slam out right now. Then I still have my feature with Dizzy Wright that I'm trying to slam out at the end of the year. And like basically just my project with Automatic. Oh yeah, I have a song coming out with my little brother. It's gonna be pretty awesome. It's gonna be cool. Yeah, I'm doing a song on Kronos's album, I believe, as well.
Oh yeah, he's like drops. When did he drop? Like 2 albums and 3 EPs in the year last year.
Yeah,
yeah, he busts ass. That's the thing with everybody in this group. Everybody really gives it their best, and yeah, I can't wait to hear your collaborations. I can't wait to do more with you as well. But going back to your album a bit, I wanted to talk to you about. Was there any song on there particularly that gave you the hardest time? Hardest time to either write or get the mix down? What was like the one that was just like took you the longest time, or one that just frustrated you maybe a little bit?
So I have 2 of them on the album. The first one is the song that we mentioned earlier, Because of You, that I did with my girlfriend. That song took me a little bit to write. And the reason for that is because I had to like put myself in, because I said it's from different point of views that I was in different relationships. So I had to kind of like put myself in like a different mindset every time I was trying to write this. So I feel like every time I was sitting there and I was in this mindset and I was trying to write this song, and then I had like this one part down, and then I had to kind of transition into like a later version of myself. I couldn't just go into it right away at that point and write it. I kind of had to like take a break for like maybe a day or something and come back the next day and put myself in a different mindset.
Yeah.
So that one was a little hard, just in the writing aspect for me. And then the song, the other song with my girlfriend on the album, called Peace of Mind. That song was a little bit hard to get everything together because my girlfriend wasn't originally supposed to be on the song. There was another artist from Sudbury. Her name's Natalie Crispo. She was supposed to be on the song, but unfortunately, she wasn't able to do it in time. So I got my girlfriend to do it instead. But also, my cousin is the one that made the beat, and the beat itself did take a while, but it's only because it's more of a raw sounding beat. It's not because the way that he makes his beats is more how would you say? I guess more organic and less like computerized, like kind of stuff, right?
So like classic production, really, with the actual real instruments and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Because like most of my album is all produced by a friend of mine called Randy Beats Official. But if you listen, like if you're listening to all the beats and then you like stumble onto Peace of Mind, you could tell that it was obviously produced with somebody with a completely different like production capability. You know what I mean? Like it sounds way, like I said, more raw and more like old school kind of hip hop, and more just focusing on the lyrics and the message in the song and less on what the hell the beat's doing. You know what I mean?
Was that done purposely to reach out to the different producer, like it for yourself, or was it just like the one available? Like, was that done purposely? Yeah.
No, so that song was like, so like Randy Beats, he sent me like a beat pack or whatever, and those are like mostly all the tracks that I have on my album. And then once I wanted to do this song for a friend of mine that passed away due to overdose and stuff, and Peace of Mind was like that song, and I didn't have a beat for it because, like, as you could tell, all the other beats are more like chill beats, like
Kind of like
drinking
psychedelic beats as well, a lot of them.
Yeah, exactly, right. And it fits perfect with the whole deep space thing. But I wanted to have a song specifically for my buddy, and so I messaged Randy Beats, like I think it was for a month or two, and he wasn't getting back to me. And I really like having everything planned out, so it's just like bang bang boom, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I needed to reach out to somebody else, so I reached out to my cousin I haven't talked to in a long time, and he told me that he was making beats, and I was like, oh buddy, can you make me a beat or whatever? And he's like, sure. And then yeah, a few months after, he sent me the beat, and as soon as he gave me the beat, like it was just all easy after that, because I was just able to write to it completely. Like I was literally, as soon as I heard the song start, I was able to envision how I wanted the song to play out, what I wanted to write down, and how I wanted to incorporate my message in the song. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it turned out great, man. And so I asked you which ones were like the frustrating ones on the album. Which song kicked off this album? What was the very first one you wrote and had finished, and then decided like, okay, the album goes from here?
I think the first one I had written, and I was like, yo, this is sick, is Sodomy Monopoly one.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I did that one and I was like performing it in my room and like practicing it and shit, I was like, man, I like, this song kicks ass. Like I was like, anybody who appreciates like lyricism will appreciate this song.
I was just gonna say that one's probably the lyrical standout on the album for me, like lyrics wise, like how you did your flows and your cadences and the flow switches even with it, and the rhyme schemes, man. That was definitely probably the most lyrical one on the album.
Yeah, 100%, man. Like as soon as I had that song done, I was like, bro, I love this song. And then it was actually the song Rolling Tree. As soon as I had that song recorded and I heard it play back to me, dude, and we were just sitting in the studio, I was like, man, this is gonna be like, people aren't ready for this. People like I said, people even know I was still doing music and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like people aren't even ready for like what I'm about to put out. And even the same thing, like all these people from my hometown, like they don't even realize that I have that, like I said before, that MO guy on my album, and that's like a huge like guy for our community. You know, he made this song back in the day to Wiz Khalifa's Black and Yellow. He made a Nickel City remix. It's like Nickel City or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, he's that guy, and like that was like our anthem for our town, right? And it was huge, and to actually have him on my album is crazy. And once people actually like tune in and see that know me and that know him, like, man, it's all done.
So once all these for shows anyways, COVID restrictions kind of lift for shows, is Sudbury going to be one of the first places you would like to perform at?
I don't know, to be 100% honest with you, because like I want to perform for like my hometown, obviously. But the thing is that I've only performed live. Like the only time like live, like electronic wise, not in person. But yeah, so like the only time I've ever actually performed in person is at a karaoke bar, and I wasn't like, I was just singing karaoke at that point, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like what I want to do first would probably be go do shows like around Toronto or anywhere else, like really that I don't know people. Like I don't want to come out right out of the gate and do shows for people that I know, because I want to be able to develop myself as like a stage performer, like as an MC, you know, before I'm able to go back and show like my hometown what I got, type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you want to brush up on your stage presence and your stage game before you really put on the show there. I get that for sure. I would do the same. I would go around different areas. I'd love to do a tour with you one day once this shit opens up, and then we can end it off hitting North Bay and Sudbury up, and it'll be a good ending to the whole tour.
That'd be awesome. I got some friends in North Bay that'd be pretty pumped to hear about that.
Yeah, yeah, mine would be pretty pumped as well. I could probably find like 12 hype men that would want to just jump on with us. So yeah, I'm looking at the time here. We're gonna have to cut this off shortly, but I like to do this sometimes, and it's the name your bar segment. Oh, I had you on do it last time. I don't remember how you did last time. I think you got 3 for 5 or 4 for 5.
I got 4 for 5 last time, but I have so many songs out now that
well, let's see if you can get them done here. I'll just read a lyric or two off one of your tracks, and let's see if you know which song these lyrics are from. So first one I got here is, but then I made a rap about some chick that pissed me off in class, and after that there was never any looking back.
That'd be Birth of Me.
Yes, it is. So that's one there. Your second one is probably the sickest kid you'll catch in your eardrum. They fear him when they hear him and spit poison without the serum.
That'd be Sodomy Monopoly.
And those are the lyrics we were talking about earlier. All right, so 2 for 2. Number 3 here is, I remember waking up every morning, not having much to eat. I remember getting up every day, no energy to even speak.
That would be The Come Up, featuring you and boy Kronos. Shout out Kronos.
Yeah, that was a fun one for sure. So 2 more, man. 3 for 3 so far. So this one is, I'm supposed to microdose, but I took 29, flying to the sky, floating on a pillow of helium and some Colt 45.
I'll be feeling it, man.
Yeah. And the last one, man, for a perfect 5 for 5 is, puff puff, always on the loudest joints. Even Betty Crocker could give me some brownie points.
I'll be Rolling Tree.
Yes, it is, man. Yeah, 5 for 5. You did it. Those are the questions I should have asked you on the FaceOFF finale.
Oh man, I would have had a chance at that point. Canada represent, man.
Kronos is a beast in that, man, and he's already getting people. I'm getting people asking me, wanting to challenge him already. I'm just like, good luck. Kronos knows his hip hop, man, from all eras.
Man, what episode? I think it was the second episode. Yeah, when we were with Otis, when I was just like, man, like, I don't want to go up against Kronos. Like, nobody wanted to go up against him because everybody like knew whatever, But I think I bought into like my own shit talking. And I was just like, I'm gonna crush this guy. I'm gonna destroy him. And then I did pretty horrible the first round. And I think after that, I was just like, you know what? I was like, I just think I talked too much shit at the starting of this. But that's okay, because I was just trying to make it more entertaining for everybody,
Oh man, because I do for people who's tuning in, I did like group chats for every episode for the contestants. And when the finale group chat I did between you and Kronos, I would just scroll through that group chat at the end of the day and just start laughing my ass off because how you guys were going with the gifts and everything, man. It was just back and forth. I wanted to do like almost like a weigh-in before the show, or when they do pre-interviews like in UFC fighters, and just let you guys go at each other.
That would have been awesome, man. I love Kronos, dude. We feed off each other so well and shit. Like I love that, because like even just in like chats, like my girlfriend thinks it's messed up, but I pride myself in roasting people and shit, like if people are there talking shit to me, like I'm not going to sit there and let them talk shit to me,
Yeah.
So, when you have 2 MCs that are just sitting there going like back to back in a group chat or in a messenger, like, oh man, like it just takes off.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And hopefully one day, actually, I want to get you on the Hangout show as well, if you're interested in popping on for that.
Yeah,
I don't know who the second person would be. I was thinking either Automatic would be a good one. Kronos, of course, would be a good one. So I'll be in talks with you. That's a fun show, uncensored, smoke, drink, do whatever you want. And we just shoot the shit for a little bit.
I'm down, man. As you can see, I'm always hanging out, my friend.
Sounds good, man. I'm going to let you go. Thank you for doing this, man. And congratulations on the album release.
Thank you again for having me. And thank you again for the congratulations.
No problem, man. Have a good day.
You too, buddy.